say I decided, you know, this is what I'm going with. And I want to change, but I decide I want to have all my images be only one color for some reason, or have a different treatment for my images. I can go here and select the image and control click, or I think right click on a PC, and then edit with Adobe Photoshop. So this will pull Photoshop open. So here it is in Photoshop. And I have to kind of unlock it first so that I can do, you know, apply things to it. So I just double click here or click on the little lock and it goes away. So now I have my image. It's just kind of in this space. So what I can do is first, what I want to do, if I want to apply something to it, I'm going to first apply black and white. So in order to color an image, you want to start with it with none of its own color. So I'm going to go in here and I'll drop down all the way to black and white. Then here's my black and white. So one thing to know, I don't know if you know this, but when you make something black and white, you can alter the lightness or darkness of different colors. So in this case, there's a lot of green. I can alter that if I wanted to, or make, you know, the reds, which is kind of, there's a lot of purples, darker. So I can have a little bit more choice in terms of what the black and white looks like, which can be actually really useful sometimes. So in this case, I use that. And then I really want, if I want to now change the color, I have to say, I don't know exactly how to explain it, but I have to tell it to go only on this layer, not apply to whatever's on the board, but just to the image. It kind of changes the way Photoshop thinks about this layer. So I need to hold Option, or that is Alt, I think, in a PC. So when I'm holding it, I have to really hold it. If I just hold it, it doesn't work. But if I hold it and then I hover above that line between the two, this little kind of square thing pops up. I click that. Now they're contained. Nothing looks different, but the little arrow tells you like, okay, it's only talking to this one. Now, I double click my initial layer, and this layer style pops up. And now I can go under color overlay and I can change the color to anything I want. So, you know, different colors will look different on different images based on if they're light or dark, or how much, you know, color, I don't know how many things are in, but I can also do multiply, darken. Maybe in my case, I don't know, I'll have some fun and do a gradient overlay for this. And right now the gradient is just white on white, so yeah, I can't see anything. So I can go in here and change it. They have some presets. I do this fun ethereal one. And then again, the blend mode is in normal, so it's saying I'm not blending this, it's just a normal gradient applied on top. But if I go down in my drop down menu, I can click multiply, color burn. So play around with how they affect the image. They all affect the image differently. And, you know, this doesn't work, this works, whatever. You can pick different things. Maybe I'm not so excited about this gradient. I can go and change it. And you can always, in here, double click and change it completely so you have your own choice in colors. Okay, so you double click each side and you say I want this on this side and, you know, this on that side. Okay, maybe not that. I'll just use one of their cloud preset. Anyway, something fun. Okay, I'm just gonna hit OK. So now if I save this, I'm gonna save on my computer. It's also an enchanted forest. So you could save it if you saved it at the exact same name as your initial image. I'm not saying you should, but let's just save. Okay, I'm just gonna save it as a PSD. So I'm saving it as a PSD. Okay, this will show you how things are linked. So it's a PSD here. Now this one that's linked, if I click on here under window and I go down to links, I can see what image this is. So when I click on it, it shows me, oh, it's Enchanted Forest 5. And it can show me like where it lives and everything. Now I'm gonna actually put a new image in there. I'm gonna put the one I modified in Photoshop. So I'll do Command D, and then I need to go find it. So Nature Culture Enchanted Forest. Oh, here it is, PSD. So now I'm bringing that in. now that is my PSD file, and I can move it around within. But just so you can see, if I go back to my PSD file and I decide actually I don't want my gradient overlay, I want a color overlay and whatever you want, something else, inner shadow, I don't know, bevel. Then if I click save, it's saving the PSD, so it's a live PSD file. And if I go over here, I'm back in my InDesign. So you see now when I click on this image, it's saying, it's giving me this little exclamation like caution mark that's saying modified, saying your initial link has changed. So if I double click that, now it automatically adapts to whatever, excuse me, whatever my Photoshop file is. So that can be a really convenient, since your image, if your Photoshop, you know, you can link within Photoshop and Illustrator, and these things can like kind of live together with one another in a live way, so you can actually talk to you don't have to save it as an image then re-upload it. You can have it be a live change thing, which is great, can be really useful. So play around with that. Now I'm changing it. I have to hit save. If I don't save it, nothing happens. So now I save it and I update it here. Okay, so that's all for Photoshop, and I'll probably make a different video altogether for Illustrator, since that's kind of its own little world. But yeah, play around. There's a lot of things you can do in Photoshop with editing images. You can, you know, if I remove my effects, so I just turn the little eye off, I can alter a lot of things here, photo filter, but you know, be mindful. I'm removing the black and white. Be mindful that some of these things, because they're presets, they really read as kind of fake. So if you're more kind of doing it manually, it has more of a real human touch, and that can be nicer sometimes. Okay, so that's it for this.